Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of The Kickout. I see a Intercontinental Championship belt behind you, Max.
Okay, Ace is looking.
Oh, wow. That's the new one.
Ace normally has the IC belt in his studio set up, but Ace has the classic one. You've got the new one, man.
I'm currently stuck in Apollo Crews' dungeon. That's why I'm
okay.
I'm here with it.
Well, let's try this again. I go by the name of Skillet.
I got a biscuit in my mouth. I go by the name of Ace.
And my name is Mex.
And you are listening to the Kickout Podcast. There's no Tay, no Flu, but you are here with the World Heavyweight Champion of Radio, DJ Ace. You are here with the five-time podcast champ, Skilly T, aka Ryan Skillet. And you're here with the IC champ, the new IC champ, the new face of podcasting when it comes to wrestling, the new source, Max, the WrestleManiac UK. Well, let me tell you something, Green Gene. When you go across the Kickout Podcast and you go across WrestleMania UK, you don't know what these powers are gonna do, son, when we combine and we run wild on you. Thank you.
Oh,
That was an intro. What an intro.
That was a long intro.
It was a hell of a long intro.
I'm sorry, I've wasted people's time. How's everybody doing?
Cool, man. How have you been?
I'm good, man. You know, I'm just getting new to my new job and enjoying it. Ace, thank you for meeting me the other day, and you and I are going to be collaborating very soon with my new job.
I saw Skip after he was running around naked in London. Something like that. What did you do?
Yeah, I had to do a shoot for a TV show on Tuesday, and he had me running around, not butt naked, but practically naked around Soho. A lot of women loved it, though. I was surprised. I was surprised. I was like, right, with me and my skinny frame. Me. But yeah, a lot of women stopped and enjoyed the view.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of wrestling.
Gotta be honest, neither have I.
But, you know what? There's not been anything great to watch, really. Like, even with AEW, it's been decent, but because they've moved to Fridays temporarily because of NBA stuff, I think that's kind of thrown everyone out of whack a bit. But there's been plenty of news. Of news.
I've kind of kept across the news, but I haven't really. Like, I started watching Raw, then I turned it off. Really bad. It's so bad. And then I heard it was like the worst Raw ending ever.
Bro,
right.
Shayna Baszler is running from a doll. A whole Shayna Baszler.
The undefeated streak.
They've just rubbished her.
So Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss are having a feud. Is that what's going on?
Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss's doll are having a feud. Yeah, man.
Do you think she's being punished for something?
Apparently, and I read this months ago, Vince just sees absolutely nothing in her. Nothing at all.
But Max, he's like that with everyone.
Not okay, yeah. We hear that for a lot of people.
Doesn't see anything in anyone today. It's like he doesn't rate any of his talent, any of them.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me. He rates Roman Reigns, and he likes Seth.
And but he may like those people because of the money they bring in.
And he was high on Becky Lynch. No, but he actually rates Roman Reigns because, come on, the fans was against Roman Reigns for a long time and Vince kept it going. So Roman Reigns is a Vince puzzle. That's very good. And obviously Vince is very good friends with Roman Reigns' father and,
family.
Yeah, exactly. Sika, They probably saved Vince from getting his ass kicked back in the 70s and 80s. There's bare stuff going on there. Bare stuff, They were probably his bodyguards for time. But
they hit the drug. I'm checking. I was really checking.
But he doesn't rate anyone.
Yeah.
Who does Vince rate? Like Triple H rates people. Triple H Triple H sees the goodness in people. Vince is like, nah, this guy's ain't it, Triple H. And sometimes Vince is right. That's the funny thing. Sometimes he's right.
Not in this occasion.
With what, Shayna Baszler?
Yeah, she's sick.
I
have had my reservations with Shayna recently.
Obviously, I feel like they've destroyed the character. Obviously, like what she was in NXT is nothing.
I loved her. I did love her in NXT. I was higher on her in NXT.
100%. But what she's doing now is not great. Unfortunately, you know when she first came to Raw, like and even when like her and Becky, she looked, and when she eliminated everybody from the eliminated chamber, like they was booking her strong, and now it's just foolishness.
Didn't they do a thing where she was like a vampire at one point, biting people?
She bit. It's only Becky she bit, but yeah, she had.
It was done from her after that. It was all over. Andrade.
Yeah,
My guy has finally signed to AEW, and I'm very happy for him. And there's a lot. I think that was the first signing that made me perk up in my seat a bit. Like, these were the reactions I would have when I was seeing WCW acquire WWE talent or WWE get WCW talent. I used to be like, oh,
that's a level.
This is the first time since those years, 20 plus years ago, that I've had that reaction back to them days where I was like, yes, I'm excited that a talent that I want to see is it might be prospering somewhere else in a rival company like AEW. So if they do more of this, I'll be very much an AEW fan. But yes, Andrade, a very great acquisition. I don't like the Vicky Guerrero.
Yes, I said this. I made a whole video about this. Like, he's not like, look at this guy. Like, he looks like money. And I'm sorry, Vicky Guerrero looks like she could be his mom. Like, the pairing aesthetically ain't correct.
It doesn't work. And that whole act is old now. The excuse me act. I think that excuse me thing is boring.
Still major heat though.
She didn't do a great job of introducing him because she kept shouting. So when she was saying Andrade El Delirijo, and no one understood what she was saying. She said Andrade, for God's sake, but people were still like, who? And then
people were booing her, so they never heard her.
Yeah, exactly.
Not good. That's not good now. You think that will last though?
No, I don't think so. I think they might have to learn from that and give her the snip. I think they should get Selena Vega and reunite them.
Well, apparently Selena Vega's re-signed with WWE.
There's a rumor there's something going on there, yeah. But then Aleister Black got fired, so
apparently they want him back too.
Yeah, there's a rumor that
they want him back.
Yeah.
So why did they fire him? I can't believe this,
bro. They let Drew Gulak's contracts run out, and then they signed him back 2 weeks later.
What was that last year?
Yeah, sometime last year.
It's wild, man. It's wild. Who's next to turn up at AEW?
I thought it was gonna be Aleister Black.
Braun?
Murphy.
Now Murphy's gonna go indie for a little bit.
Yeah, I think Murphy will go like the Ring of Honor, Impact route. Mexico. He probably go Mexico, go New Japan. I think Murphy wants to go New Japan. Can you imagine Murphy and Jay White in a one-on-one match? Yeah. That'd be incredible.
Even Murphy in the G1 would be pretty good.
Murphy in the G1, Murphy against Shingo. Come on. That's
he'll probably end all of that by going back to WWE.
Yeah, he will. Murphy versus Ibushi. Come on. Mm-hmm. You know that's a dream match on Murphy's head. You know? Yeah, I think that's what Murphy should do. Don't go AEW. Do the indies, go Japan, become an A-star plus wrestler that you already are anyway, but become that creme de la creme. Murphy versus Ospreay. Come on, these are the matches I want to see. Come on, Murphy. If you're listening to this podcast, which I know you're not, but if you are, go to the ring, do the independent route, go Japan, come back to WWE so they can put you in the four corners Hell in a Cell match where nobody cares who you are, and you lose, and you get reunited with Wesley Blake just to be jobbed on a Thursday night. And there's no show on Thursday nights, but you get jobbed all over again, Murphy. So do all this hard work just to get back to WWE.
That wouldn't happen. If he went back to WWE, he'd go back a star, surely.
And I hope, Murphy, when you go to Japan, you learn how to cut a promo.
He's good, man. He can talk.
He can't talk.
Bro, do you remember his 205 live run as champion?
One of the best wrestlers. Not a great talker.
Not a great talker, but he's decent enough, especially in Japan. All he has to do is speak English. Give him a break.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Japan, he'll do really well, but he needs to learn how to get
really talk.
A bit more real, yeah.
So before they got rid of Murphy, they were planning. I think he or someone else had pitched to put him back with Wesley Blake, and they were all planning maybe this tag team to go back together until someone said, "No, Wesley Blake's been fired."
Yeah, but
he left in the he left in the last round, but no one knew. It's like not no one knew, but like they were making this plan for him to be in a tag team with someone that doesn't even work in the company anymore.
Wild.
Well, I'm not even surprised because you just told me that they get Aleister Black to return. It felt like they fired my man by accident. Like anything you tell me, Max, I believe wholeheartedly that they just don't know what they're doing.
No, it was Aleister Blake. He works in catering. Not you. We wouldn't get rid of you.
Wait a minute. Hey, so Big E, when you show up with the IC title, well, you don't have the IC title anymore, Vince. Okay. When you walk down the ramp, right, we want Aleister Black to kick you in. You know that? You know what's the blackout? You black out, he kicks you in the back of your head. Vince, wait, let me finish. He kicks you in the back of the head, right? And then he does his pose, but he bounces off the ropes and he meditates in the ring. Yeah, but Vince, you got rid of him. Who? Aleister Black. What are you talking about? We got this program of you and you got rid of him. That's what I think happened.
That's what happened. It was an accident. It was 100% an accident. It was Aleister Blake. He works in catering, makes fish fingers. Anyway.
And funny enough, he's been super polite in all the little shoot interviews. He's been people try to draw him out to, talk bad on WWE. He's been super polite. Vince was always in my corner. Big up Paul Heyman, this, that, and the other. And people are like, why aren't you cussing these people?
He's still in. 100% he's still in. He knows he's still in.
He probably still works there.
He's still in. Definitely, he's still in.
Or at least Selena Vega is working there, so he ain't trying to, burn her bridges.
Do you think they just fired him to rehire him on a lower wage?
Maybe.
Possible. Business, isn't it?
That's what probably happened.
Maybe.
It's like Strowman, for instance. Strowman may go elsewhere. People are cussing Strowman today because apparently he's been telling indies he wants like 5 figures for any bookings. But it's like he's Braun Strowman. They publicly put out when he got sacked that he was on $1 million a year. So it's like, why wouldn't he want to take 5 figures in terms of a booking at an indie show? At the same time, everyone's always telling people know your worth and add tax and all of this stuff. So when a man is doing that, why is it an issue?
Is he worth 5 figures though?
He ain't worth 5 figures.
That's not the point. That's besides the point. That's another conversation. It's the name value. Why you want to book me? Because I'm Braun Strowman, ex-WWE. That's what you're gonna go put in your flyer.
Who is he charging these? What companies is he charging these?
It just said indies. It said independent. It's just indie shows have that's what they've been told, and that he's good for money. He don't need to be like in a rush to take.
Oh, he's definitely good for money. He was pimping out WWE. I don't know how he was hustling WWE like that. I don't know how he was doing that.
That's just to me though that he doesn't really care about wrestling.
No,
because why wouldn't he just go and sign with AEW or another company?
But how many of these men do care about wrestling? Remember, he was brought in from by Mark Henry from strongman competitions, brought in to be trained as a wrestler. Like there's people.
So Mark Henry brought in Braun Strowman too. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He got him his trial.
So he brought through Strowman. He's brought through Bianca Belair. He's brought through Jade Cargill. Mark Henry is killing it. He's he's the future scout.
They should pay up to
AEW got him in it.
I hope he got paid for all of them.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, for sure.
So what else is going on?
Or W gave him a 24-hour episode or something.
WWE 24 Mark Henry, little sexual chocolate.
What else is in the news, man? What else are we forgetting?
Leo Rush. Have you seen the news about him? He's retired.
He's retired from wrestling. He said the final straw for him is when he couldn't pick up his daughter or his child or something like that. But I don't know, man.
He took a rough bump at the AEW show, the Casino Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, you know, the family, everything. He just decided it's best for him to hang up his boots. I think Leo Rush is what now? Maybe like 24.
He's done that before, though. You know, he said that he's quit before.
He retired right after he left WWE.
Yeah.
Came back, started making music, got back in the ring, some indie shows and stuff, and he was on a pretty good run, which had obviously got him into contact with AEW. But yeah,
he said
now injury just saying he's calling it a day.
He's gonna finish his New Japan contract obligations, though. He's gonna finish that. So when he heals up, he'll still be wrestling, and then he'll retire. Ace, do you think our interview with Leo Rush at the red carpet in 2019 Hall of Fame has ruined his career?
Well, what did he say?
Nothing. I've just been stupid.
I saw you posted on Twitter the other day. Is that what you said it on Twitter, didn't you?
No, yeah, we had a
Wow. Well, where did that come from?
No, I'm just taking the piss. No, he actually probably enjoyed that interview. Actually, he really
man. Big up to Leo. I don't think he's retired though.
I don't think he is. I think he's just emotionally drained and tired and frustrated.
And he feels like he doesn't get respect that he deserves.
No, but to be honest with you, can I be honest with you though? His showing at AEW wasn't great, and I guess it makes sense because he must have hurt his shoulder. That's why. Right. That's probably why. But I felt like he kept butching a lot.
Maybe it was exciting. Who knows?
That's what people were saying. But I think he can. You know, he's still so young. He can take a year, 2 years, 3 years off to heal. You know, come back with a whole different personality, body transformation, and that. Because he's still obviously quite a young man. So. He could change like that.
He's an outstanding talent, so I hope he doesn't step away from the ring for too long. I hope he comes back. Anything else we're forgetting, Max?
Not really.
There's a takeover this weekend, isn't there?
The takeover this weekend. We got Backlash next week. SummerSlam is confirmed. They're trying to make that the WrestleMania of the year. 70,000 people in Las Vegas. So yeah.
We're having a fan of the Kick Out podcast join us for the review show on NXT TakeOver Monday. I hope you guys don't mind. His name is Paul Smith, really good guy. He listens to our show on a regular. And I kind of want to include some fans to join us as well. It's a fan show, fan cast. We get fans involved, hear their views, hear what they think. What do you guys think about that? I didn't consult any of you about this before I made this decision. And I'm making this decision live on air.
It's fine. Executive
decision. Let's go, man.
Yeah. All right, and that was easy.
Yes, there's been some few things that we haven't discussed in regards to watching. Did you watch the Jake the Snake? Dark Side
I'm gonna watch that tonight. I watched the Ultimate Warrior one. I watched the Dark Side of the Ring version Ultimate Warrior because obviously I watched the
very different documentaries. It was mad that they came out in the same week.
Yeah,
that was mad, isn't it?
They had the ex-wife's perspective instead of the wife's perspective.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
The Jake the Snake one is very dark, extremely dark.
Yeah, no, it would be. They need to make a movie of Jake the Snake's life. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
And then the Hitman, AW. Is it AE? No, it's AE.
A on E, yeah.
A on E, there you go.
Did that make you feel like he's the greatest? Because you got gas when you saw the Shawn Micheals one. Did that make you say, you know what, actually, because Bret's the greatest, I'm sorry. You know what you're doing, Ace? Do you know what you guys do? You, Ace, you, Max, you and your stinking wrestling fans all there. You know what you guys do? You listen to Drake and you say Drake is better than Jay-Z. Bret Hart is Jay-Z. And Drake is Shawn Micheals.
You're an idiot.
And I love Drake. I love Shawn Micheals.
Do you want to have this argument now?
Yes.
Basically, my point, this is what my point was. Bret Hart is a great, cool he is. He's one of the, if not,
wrestler, Shawn.
Listen to my point. Bret Hart was born into wrestling. Mm-hmm. Dad was a wrestler. Dad owned the territory. Like he was like molded into. Like he was always going to be a wrestler. Mm-hmm. Brothers were wrestlers. Like sisters married wrestlers. Everything was wrestling. Mm-hmm. Shawn didn't have that. Shouldn't have none of that. Yeah. No, wait. Shawn didn't have any of that, yeah, and learned the skills to become the greatest, one of the greatest, if not the greatest superstars of all time. Charisma came with that, all of that. Then my second point is, and then you can say whatever you want to say. If we look at their entire careers, yeah, from start to finish, yeah, from start to finish. Who has had a better career?
But hold on. Shawn had 4 years, 4 or 5 years missing of his career, right?
What's your point?
In the middle of his high, in my opinion, his peak time, right? Because obviously he came back and he was amazing when he came back.
Irrelevant.
Hold on, how is this irrelevant?
That's irrelevant.
Why is that irrelevant?
We're talking about his whole career.
You didn't let me finish my piece.
All right, go on.
Right. So if Shawn didn't have the injury and came back, right? If you're looking at the career standard between Bret and Shawn in their prime, both in their prime, in their heyday, right? Bret was obviously had the edge over Shawn. It's only when Bret retired after having a stroke and Shawn came back that everyone saying
no one of the people that say Jay-Z's only the greatest rapper of all time because Biggie died. Is that what you're saying?
I never said that could be something. That definitely could be something. That's definitely something to think about.
No, it's not. It's not because Biggie died. That it just happened. Didn't it? Because we can't say that. Yeah, Bret left to go.
Is Bret a better wrestler than Shawn?
Before you answer, this is where I'm coming in. How do we define wrestler?
No, in-ring performer. So you could easily let's not make excuses here, because if I asked you who's a better wrestler, Omega or MVP, you're not gonna say, oh, before we let's define what a wrestler is. You know what the answer is. It's Omega.
Why does that's my
but obviously in terms of why I'm asking is because the golf, if you like, is much closer here. That's what I want to know. When you use the word wrestler, we're talking about in-ring ability, right?
Yeah.
I would have to go for Bret. 100%. And that is the only position he's better than Shawn Michaels.
Shawn was a performer.
Shawn Michaels is a better wrestler in terms of everything a wrestler needs to do.
Shawn has the razzmatazz. He puts a little sprinkle dust in it. So when you watch his matches, you're watching a bunch of dust come down, and that's getting into your fumes. Like the mashed potato fumes are going to your head, and you're like, "Oh, this is amazing." But Bret doesn't have that little sprinkle. Bret just comes out. Listen, the golf ain't that big. I'll tell you why I hate this argument. Let me tell you why I hate this argument. I'll tell you why I hate this argument. The reason why I hate this argument is anyone that says Shawn is better has clearly watched Shawn matches 1,000 times more than they have watched a Bret Hart match.
Whatever.
And let me say something. If you watch a Bret Hart match, Bret Hart matches are never the same. Bret Hart matches are never the same. He always ends his matches differently.
We are agreeing with you.
It's melodic. Shawn is John Cena. It's that whole thing you see every week. He's gonna pip up. He's gonna do the elbow. He's gonna do a wrestler. It's the same, but Bret
Hart is
something different every match.
Okay, listen. All right, should I say this? Bret Hart is a better wrestler than Shawn Michaels. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is a better wrestler.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, you mean all-rounder. You mean all-rounder.
No, better professional wrestler.
Yes,
no, you mean no, that's not true. You mean better all-rounder. He's a better all-rounder.
All-rounder then.
Yeah.
So we're both right. We're both right. Who is the best technical wrestler today?
Today?
Yeah.
Technical?
Yeah. Who is the Bret Hart of today? Quick, man.
Okada?
All right. No, yeah, Okada, yeah. No, I'm gonna say let's go with somebody from WWE that we watch. Okay. Let's say Seth Rollins, yeah.
Yeah.
Who if they had to have a feud from Royal Rumble that leads all the way up to WrestleMania, yeah? Who would you rather see Seth Rollins in a feud with? Yeah. Remember how long that run is? That's like 3 months, yeah? Would you rather see Seth Rollins versus Bret Hart in his heyday? Or Shawn Michaels versus Seth Rollins in his heyday? I'll ask both of you guys.
Michaels any day of the week.
That would be sick, bruv.
Any day of the week.
But Seth and Shawn are very similar.
That's fine.
No, we're talking about the whole run. I'm not talking about the matches. And obviously, the matches are always going to be 5-star. I'm talking about the lead up. Yeah, who's like the psychology, the back and forth. Who's going to go at each other? Like we're talking about all of that. You're going to see a storyline. You think Shawn Michaels in his heyday versus Seth Rollins is not a bigger match?
Skillet knows the answer, brother.
I don't think so. I actually don't think so.
Come on.
I don't think so.
I put that out on Twitter, brother, right now.
Skillet, for entertainment purposes.
You're saying this scenario is this scenario that you painted here is the sole reason why Shawn's the greatest. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm trying to don't try and make my point, yeah. To try and enhance your point. We've already agreed. Bret is a technical wrestler. I'm just asking you a question.
I think
we're talking about watching wrestling. We're talking about watching wrestling fans. Who would you rather see that feud from?
I think you guys need to go on the network. Go on the network.
I can't have this argument with you, bro.
Go on the network because I know you guys haven't done this for a long time.
Whatever, man.
And I know you guys probably haven't done this at all. Go on the network and do a Bret Hart playlist and watch that guy go. Just watch. He's the best, bro. I'm telling you, he's the best.
You're acting like we didn't just say he is.
We just said that he's the best.
But there's still an argument, though.
The match would be amazing.
You're not agreeing with me.
I'm talking about the feud. Whose feud would be better? Do you know what? I even give you that. The match would probably be better, but whose feud would be better?
The Seth Rollins Bret Hart match would definitely be better.
Yeah. Listen. This is the problem with people that are fans of Bret Hart. Whenever we're talking about Bret Hart, all you can ever say is go and watch the match.
No,
that's where the argument begins, and that's where it ends.
97 Bret, you could talk his ass off. 97 Bret.
All right, you still don't answer the question, or you just
before then he was dead on the mic, but 97 Bret, you can got a promo. Sure.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, so we're selecting.
Guys, tell us what you think at us at the Kick Out Podcast. Who's right, Ace, Max, or myself? Yes, it's me, but just give your opinion.
Okay. I wish Flu was here, man. Where's Flu?
Flu would back you guys. He's a Shawn Michaels mark.
Exactly.
Why are you getting angry?
And Tay wouldn't say anything because Tay didn't watch Shawn and Bret in their heyday. What Tay was doing was sucking on her mother teeth with them guys in their prime. And she started only watching wrestling when The Rock came out. And then she'd be like, I'm going to say Shawn because I saw him in 2002 onwards. You don't know anything, Tay. What are you doing in this podcast? What are you? Oh, sorry. Anyway. Just joking. Love you, Tay. I love you. All right. We have an interview to play. Let's play an interview before we review Raw and SmackDown. Ace, you got to sit down with a legend. Who did you get to talk to, Ace?
I got to speak to the man, Paul Heyman. He is the I'm not allowed to call him a manager because he's the what does he call himself again?
Isn't he the advocate or the head of the?
Doesn't he call himself the? I think he's the
advocate for Brock Lesnar, but he's a special counsel for Roman.
There you go, the special counsel for Roman Reigns. We spoke just before the last pay-per-view, which was what was that again? WrestleMania's Backlash.
Yeah.
You guys can check this out. Here we go. All right, let's go. One extra Ace, and this coming Sunday, it's all about WrestleMania's Backlash. Very, very much looking forward to it. And somebody that we will see at the show, he is are you the manager now or the advocate for Roman Reigns?
I have not been. Wow, we are off to such a wrong start here. By the way, do people know that British accent is just an effect? Because when we were just talking off the air, you're from Brooklyn.
I'm definitely not from Brooklyn or the Bronx where you're from. I'm from South London.
I know you're not. You're from South Brooklyn because right before we went on the air, it's like, hey, listen, here's what we're going to do over here, right? Listen, we're going to go on the air. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk to these guys in Britain. Okay, don't worry about it. Everything's great. Brexit all the way. I'm like, what's going on with this guy? And then you go on the air and you sound like Prince Charles. It's amazing to me. Anyway. I have not been a manager since 1991 when I became the CEO of the Dangerous Alliance. I've been an agent. I have been an advocate, and now I serve with pleasure and pride, by the way, as the special counsel to the tribal chief, the Universal Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns.
And you're doing an amazing job. Let me say that to you, sir. if you'll accept
Thank you, Mr. Brooklyn. I appreciate that very much.
All right, before we talk about the big event this Sunday, I would like to ask you though, like, I've been a fan of you for a long time. I would just love to know, where does that wrestling brain come from? You've done so many amazing things within this industry, and that doesn't come from having a family within the industry, or like, but where did that brain come from? Where does that wrestling brain come from?
The desire never to have a real job during the course of my entire life.
Okay. But that doesn't explain how you got so good at it, though.
I really, really, really don't want to ever have a real job ever during the course of my life. But I'm so desperate not to ever have to be subjected to a real job that I made myself the best ever to do this role, to the point where I had to redefine the role and change it from a manager, which was your first question, which
was wrong. I apologize.
Give you a pass on. Okay. No, I accept your apology, because listen, we New Yorkers, because you know
I'm from New York. Apparently, I'm from Brooklyn. Yeah.
See the way you said it, Brooklyn. So you can't even hide it. You know, so I'll give you a pass on that. But you know, we redefine things, we disrupt industries. So I was so great at the role that I actually changed the designation of the role from manager to CEO to agent to advocate to special counsel, which is the height of the role. But basically, it just boils down to the fact that I never, ever want to have a real job in my life.
I appreciate that. I mean, in regards to like what you've done, do you ever just sit back and think, yo, like I've done so much amazing things. I recently watched the Brian Pillman documentary and the Steve Austin one, and you had such a big part of the evolution of so many amazing wrestlers. Like, is it hard to be humble, or are you able to just be out there and be like, yo, I'm the man, I did this?
It's I don't spend any time resting on my laurels. I don't spend any time looking back on what I've accomplished, because tomorrow needs to be better than today, and 2 days from now needs to be better than tomorrow. You know this from the industry that you're in. Mm-hmm. You are right now number one. From what everybody tells me, you're number one in what you do.
I appreciate it.
Well, hey, listen, I wouldn't be wasting my time on the number 2 show. I wouldn't.
Appreciate that.
I really wouldn't. So here's the fact. If you have a mediocre day and your opposition has a great day, you're not going to be number one for very long. And you can sit there and say, yeah, but in 2018, I was number one. And in 2017, I did this. And in 2016, I did that. And in 2015, I did this great interview. And they're going to sit there and say, yeah, but you're number 2 now.
Right.
We don't care. That's the same thing. I look at every SmackDown as merely my audition to be invited back by WWE and Roman Reigns to the next SmackDown. The day that I walk out there and I'm not the absolute very best at what I do, topping everything that I've done before for 34 years, I don't deserve the role. I don't deserve the position. I don't deserve to stand next to Roman Reigns. I don't deserve the global platform that WWE affords me. The day that I look back and say, well, I had The Undertaker before he was The Undertaker. I helped Stone Cold find Stone Cold. I was this influential on this person. Look what Brock Lesnar and I have achieved. ECW, you know, the day that I take that mindset, I'm screwed. Someone's going to be better than me. I have to wake up every morning and depending on the luxury of the day, sometimes in the afternoon. And I have to be driven and determined and yearning for a level of greatness I have not yet achieved, because the moment I lose sight of how hyper competitive it is for the absolute number 1 top spot is the day that someone's going to take that spot from me.
Deep. We're getting gems today, people. I hope you guys are taking notes. You did mention ECW, and I don't want to dwell too much on the past, but what an amazing thing ECW was. In this day today of cancel culture and a lot of hypersensitiveness, what would ECW look like in 2021?
a completely different product than it was in the 1990s, because the disruption of the industry would be different today than it was then. Back then, the things that we were doing had never been done before. Now, the things that the norm. And I mean, just look, are you telling me that the Rob Van Dam style isn't in vogue across the globe with all of these different promotions that are showcasing people who are blatantly working the Rob Van Dam style?
100%.
The uses of tables and ladders and chairs, the use of profanity, commercial music, all these different things that we were doing back then now have become the norm. And that was the goal of ECW. The goal of ECW was to disrupt the industry and push the industry forward into a new generation. And you're seeing that generation play itself out right now. In the very same way, what would ECW look like in 2021? My vision would be, well, what should it look like in 2026? Because you always got to look 5 years down the road, or in 2024, at least 3 years down the road. And what it would look like is a disruption of the industry again.
Yes, we were asking, I think we got that question. The question was about ECW in 2021.
Yeah, ECW in 2021 would be vastly different than ECW in the 1990s, because the goals in the 1990s are far different than the goals in 2021, except the primary goal, the core goal of ECW is always to disrupt the industry. And it's exactly what we did. Everybody now uses commercial music, tables, ladders, and chairs, profanity, far more contemporary storylines. I mean, take a look at all these promotions all around the world that employ the style of Rob Van Dam.
Yeah,
you take a look at who was the most influential performer of the generation. We have a whole generation of superstars around the world that wrestle the style that Rob Van Dam introduced in the late 1990s in ECW. So what would ECW look like in 2021? It would be a movement, a disruptive force to progress the industry into 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, all the way through 2030 and 2040, which is, again, 20 years after ECW. Look at the influence that it has on the culture of sports entertainment and the presentation of sports entertainment. And I would dare suggest that it would be the same way today, that the goal would be to disrupt and progress the industry into not only a level of greatness, but also a concept of presentation that it hadn't achieved before.
The term Paul Heyman guy is a term that a lot of wrestlers would love to have. It means that you're going to get the rub from such an amazing brain like yourself. What is the criteria for a Paul Heyman guy? What are you looking for in that special it factor for a performer?
Servitude to the desire to do things that have never been done before on a level that has never been achieved by anybody else. Mm-hmm. Just it's the pursuit of constant greatness. It's the lust to be the best that has ever done it in the manner that you're doing it at the moment, let alone progressing into the future. That tomorrow's performance must be better than today's, and 2 days from now, your performance must be better than tomorrow's. That's it. It's just a it's an obedience to the vision of let's do this to where there's no one that can compete with our ambitious desire to be the greatest.
Yeah. Any new up and coming wrestlers that you could consider possibly being Paul Heyman guys?
Well, the short answer to your long question is yes. But as you learned on the streets of Brooklyn when you were a youngster before you affected the British accent,
right?
Why would I ever tip my hand and allow other people to poach the talent that I have my eyes on.
Okay. You're good at avoiding really good questions, but this is the main question. I don't want you to avoid this one, Paul Heyman. Are you ready?
Can I avoid that one?
You have
that
to.
one. Am I ready? Well, that's an interesting question. Am I ready? I don't know. Am I really ready?
Here's the question.
I mean,
Here is the question. Here is the question.
Oh, we're going to cut to the chase like a prosecutor. Okay.
In the event that Brock Lesnar comes back and wants the Universal title, whose corner will you be in?
Well, that is a very interesting question, and I won't avoid it at all. I will address this head on and give you the exclusive on a global headline. Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to do. The question that you pose is a hypothetical.
Right.
It's based on the concept of if. My father taught me not on the streets of Brooklyn like your father taught you, but on the streets of the Bronx when I was a very young lad. If my aunt had testicles, she'd be my uncle. She doesn't, so she's not. If Brock Lesnar returns, if Brock Lesnar wants the Universal title, if Brock Lesnar fights Roman Reigns, if, it's an if. It's based on a hypothetical. As far as I know, my aunt to this morning still does not have testicles. Therefore, she's not my uncle. She's still my aunt. So, to answer the question about
you don't
Brock
want to answer
Lesnar,
the question. Tell us about what's going to happen this Sunday night.
Oh, smash him, stack him, pack him, rack him, pin him, guillotine him, send him on his way. When's the last time you saw Edge on WWE programming? You haven't since WrestleMania. Why? Roman Reigns. Will you see Daniel Bryan on WWE programming anymore? No. Why? Roman Reigns. I like Cesaro. I respect Cesaro. I admire Cesaro. I'm appreciative of Cesaro's talent, and I'm going to miss Cesaro when Roman Reigns is done with him at WrestleMania Backlash.
And that is not a prediction. That is a spoiler.
Yes, sir. It is most definitely a spoiler.
I appreciate you very much, Mr. Paul Heyman. And again, if you Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, you will not say whose corner you'll be in.
It's an if. Do we need to talk about my aunt's testicles again? Seriously. I mean, is this where we're headed? Is this an obsession of yours, sir?
It's not. Paul, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. From one Brooklynite to a Bronx native, thank you very much, sir.
Hey, Ace, big up to Brooklyn.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
I love his compliments towards you, Ace, because he knows you're the greatest.
I mean, yes, I'm getting me ready for my WWE debut.
I feel like your finishing move will be the big boot, and for some reason a moonsault while standing. I just can see you doing it. Like you do a typical big man move, but then you will counteract it with a high fly special.
Some Keith Leeting.
Yeah. Max, I can see your move being a choke slam, but like you know how Albert used to do it with the two hands,
the sit down thing,
but off the top rope.
That's probably never going to be allowed in WWE. But
even get them.
So basically, what Max will do, will do that the forearm punch. That's what Max will do. That right, the guy's on the ground, then you'll lift him up, put them on the turnbuckle, put two hands on him, and then turn and do the slam, kind of like D'Lo Brown-ish, but with a choke slam. I can see
the only person I can probably do that to is to Hornswoggle. I ain't lifting it, man.
You know what my finishing move will be?
What is it?
The sweet chin knee.
Okay. Can we keep it moving?
So I stand by the turnbuckle, and instead of smacking the leg, you smack the kneecap. And then I did a little Shawn run up and knee the guy in the face. Okay, let's move on. SmackDown, talk to me, Max.
Nothing really of note happened on SmackDown. We're still obviously amidst the whole Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso's back, and these men have lost their tag team title opportunity. They lost on 2 occasions to Rey Mysterio and Dominic. So probably heading towards some type of one last try to get the belts back. Bianca Belair and Bayley continue to feud. They're probably gonna have a match at the Backlash pay-per-view. I think it's been announced actually. But yeah, nothing else really.
Do you think Jimmy and Jay win the tag team titles as Jimmy and Jay, or are they gonna feud before that happens? Because it looks like it's gonna be Rey Mysterio and Roman Reigns for the next few weeks, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying. But I mean, I don't know how they're gonna play this. With SmackDown, obviously Jay and Jimmy failed once. I feel like what they should have done the second time round is Roman says that he's gonna be in the tag match.
That would have been heavy.
Yeah, like say to Jimmy, you had your chance, you got pinned, and then I'm gonna tag with Jay, who he's obviously kind of closer with right now anyway, and they win the tag team championships.
That could still happen.
It could still happen, yeah. Yeah. We'll see how this one plays out, how it's going right now.
So Roman Reigns is doing really good work, isn't he? He's
amazing.
He's like one of the best in wrestling today.
Yeah, full stop anywhere.
Well done, Roman. I'm proud of you, man.
It took a while.
Yeah, but that's gonna happen. Like, it was never Roman's fault. We were more mad at Vince that he's trying to force feed us someone that's not ready. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's ready now. But I guess sometimes you gotta get thrown into the deep end to become ready too. So
you know what I saw circulating
if we didn't
on Twitter
do that,
today,
we wouldn't have the Roman Reigns we have now, I guess. You know what I mean?
On Twitter today, I saw circulating clips of, when he was in the feud with John Cena before, I think No Mercy, when they faced off, and John Cena bun him because he forgot his lines or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, even the garbage he was saying then, it was like, oh, you don't want a younger guy to come out and this, that, and the other. And it literally compared to the Roman we can now see today, this literally sounded like a machine talking. Like he's got lines to go through and he's just kind of, repeating the lines. I said, this guy sounds nothing. His posture's nothing like it was then. His facial expressions are telling stories now that they weren't ever telling back then. He's probably just looking blankly at competitors trying to remember lines. And
I feel that's Paul Heyman just maybe having a chat with Reigns before they come out and say, this is what we should say. Let's go through what we should say, what should be said. Where Reigns was obviously given a script and was forced to say things like, remember that suffering succotash son thing? And the best thing he did was the it's my yard now. That was good. And
against Undertaker, yeah.
Remember the whole, I'm not a bad guy.
I'm
not a good guy. I'm the guy. That shit. That was terrible.
So what do you so the rumors are Cena versus Reigns for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I would like to see that.
Let them run it.
Yeah.
Let them run it.
Cena versus Reigns SummerSlam. I think Survivor Series should be Reigns versus It'll
be Lashley, I guess. Hopefully.
Yeah, Reigns Lashley.
It's gonna be Drew.
You think Drew's gonna win?
You think Lashley's holding? Well, put it this way: they done the age old thing of Lashley saying to Drew, "This is your last WWE Championship match, as long as I'm champion." So I just think that's it. Drew's gonna win. Like, crowds are coming back. I think they're gonna want a babyface champion in front of crowds. This is the whole reason they didn't let Lashley run with the whole Hurt Business thing, because it was getting over too much. So now the crowds are coming back. They put the championship back on Drew. He gets that run in front of a crowd where he never got before because it was pandemic. I think it's with Drew, man. I don't think Lashley. Drew is the top guy, even with Lashley holding the belt. Like, he's still like the top guy on Raw. So
is he though?
I think so.
Is Drew?
I think they think he is. I don't. I think he's died a death in like the fans' eyes. Like, people still like Drew, but he's not as over as he was when he won the Royal Rumble. But they still think he is.
I don't think Kofi.
Yeah, he's not. You're
He's
right.
more over than Kofi.
Kofi's more over than Drew. Kofi's more.
You're correct.
And
they don't think that.
Put the belt on him.
Yeah, but Drew didn't get cheered over Lashley at Mania.
I 100% agree with everything you lot are saying. I just think it's them thinking we owe him. So
no, I don't think so. I think they need to I think they need to bring back Lesnar, man. I want to see Lashley Lesnar. What's going on? Why is it taking so long?
So apparently that was rumored bare for SummerSlam, and now from what I've read in the last 2 days, that's not on the cards. Like Lesnar is not being booked for SummerSlam as of right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Lesnar's not going to come back, to be honest.
But this is the thing: if Drew doesn't beat Lashley at Hell in a Cell next week, what's next for Drew on Raw?
Nothing. You'd have to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, and that draft ain't happening till after SummerSlam, like late August. So between now and late August, what's Drew gonna be doing? So that's why I think he wins it.
Interesting.
Mex, you made a video recently that concerned me about Kofi turning on Xavier. Yeah. Is that something that is actually good, you can see happening for Raw?
What I want to happen, obviously MVP is having all this chat with Kofi. I actually want Xavier to be the one to turn.
Okay.
But I don't know what the plan is here, because obviously Kofi and MVP had an extended talk backstage on Raw, which I thought was interesting in itself. I don't know. I really don't know, but is Kofi going to turn heel? Is Xavier going to turn heel?
Kofi's not going to turn Xavier. You know what? I can see the Xavier turn, though. I can see that.
Yeah, that could be good.
That could be good.
Xavier is very, very good, and he deserves, some like single spotlight as well.
He does, for sure.
Yeah,
might be quite good. I think it is time to end the New Day train.
Really? You done?
Yeah.
But with the New Day,
push Kofi as a main eventer. Push Kofi as a main eventer. Have Xavier shine as a mid carder, as a heel mid carder. I think this could work.
Yeah, but much.
If they're still making money, making money,
no, but they could make even more money tenfold when they all reunite in 2023.
All three of them as well.
Exactly.
I like it.
Why not? Give it an experiment, man.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I'm down.
Is that it then? We covered everything.
Raw?
Yeah, the main story is Lashley, Drew McIntyre had their contract signing. That's going to be a Hell in a Cell match next Sunday. If Drew McIntyre loses, he doesn't get another chance at the title whilst Lashley is champion. That's really.
I think there's something I'm forgetting to mention here. I can't think of it now.
Unless you want to move on to NXT. That's pay-per-view this
week. Talk to me about what's the card on NXT in your house. I know my homegirl Zaya Lee is going to be main eventing. That's great. Happy for her.
I don't know about main eventing, but she's.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like she's got a title shot. She's got a title.
Oh
shot.
No, it's just a regular match against Mercedes Martinez.
It's not a belt. What?
No belt, Brett. Just her versus Mercedes Martinez. Yeah.
Oh, so she's just on the paper. It's her first pay-per-view then.
Yeah. Which is a good step forward. We got the $1 million match, if you like. The $1 million belt is back. So Cameron Grimes is gonna be going up against LA Knight in a ladder match for the $1 million title.
Why are they doing this, man?
You know what?
Is this Cameron Grimes Ted DiBiase thing a good thing?
It has been decent. Like, I don't know how much you've been following, but Cameron Grimes has actually become rich through
I know that
and stuff, right? So they've kind of made it play into storyline, and they've brought Ted DiBiase in to kind of show him, there's different levels to this whole money thing, and Ted DiBiase now wants to choose one of them to carry on the $1 million legacy. That's why he's put the belt on the line. So how they use the belt going forward after this will be interesting, but this has been a pretty decent story. There's a 6-man tag match. Bronson Reed, North American champion at MSK, the tag team champions. All the belts are on the line against Legado del Fantasma. So Santos Escobar and his boys. What else is on the card? Women's title. Ember Moon is going after Raquel Gonzalez NXT Women's Championship. And then the main event is Karrion Kross.
Wasn't Ember Moon just the tag team champion recently?
Yeah. She lost it, and then her partner got injured.
Wasn't that like last week or something?
No. It's a couple of weeks back. Still.
No, they need a good hand to help Raquel Gonzalez look even better.
That's all this is. Yeah. Main event.
Adam Cole's best promo since stepping into the WWE ring when he
Fantastic.
absolutely destroyed Karrion Kross.
Bun him.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it. What did he say?
Oh, AC killed him. He absolutely killed him.
He basically was like, you know, they do the lights and the smoke and everything to make you feel so special. For me, all they have to do is ring the bell. They kept shooting.
He said, "You got the lights, you got the pyro, you got the girl, you got you got the main event push. They've taken care of you. They did everything in their power to make you look special. What they need to do to make Adam Cole look special is ring the goddamn bell."
I said, "Ring the freaking bell."
You gotta go mad.
Nuts. The 20 people that was there was, but it was such a good promo that 20 people sounded like 1,000 people, bro.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. And then he just ripped him and said that he can't wrestle and all of that kind of stuff. Went to town on him.
Do you remember, like, because I was a big advocate of Karrion Kross when he was at Impact. When he was Killer Kross, he was actually really, really good, and he did a lot of stuff in Mexico. So I felt like he was homing in his craft then. But when he has come to WWE, remember we were saying that in a podcast with Wrestlings when they were guests, that we just felt like he's not living up to the hype.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad. I'm that.
Like, so on this Go Home show on Tuesday night. He was in the ring. Then Kyle O'Reilly came out and basically said, again, you can't wrestle. You're not good. Johnny Gargano came out and said the same thing, that you can't wrestle. Pete Dunne basically said the same thing. Adam Cole was on the Titron and said the same thing. And I actually felt bad for the guy because it's like, why are they drawing man out like this? It's like, yeah, he's more of a striker, the whole MMA thing, but like, this is really harsh. Like, this is borderline bullying. If he wasn't the biggest one amongst all of these guys, but it only makes me think that come Sunday on the weekend, he's just gonna use it, whatever his style is, to annihilate all of these smaller guys. Like,
yeah, of course.
So I think
wouldn't it be funny
would be fun.
Wouldn't it be funny if like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, who's booking NXT, was like do like a DX skit? And you know what would be funny? If the Gargano comes out and says that he can't wrestle, and then Pete Dunne comes down in a helicopter and he says that he can't wrestle, and then Adam Cole comes up with a bucket of gunge and pours it over his head and says he can't wrestle. It just felt like a prank. But
I honestly felt uncomfortable watching it, thinking like, nah, this isn't fair for them to do this to my man. Like, this ain't fair at all.
And he's not a bad wrestler. Let's be real.
Yeah, like I think it works for what he is. Like, his style is like a roughneck kind of thing. Like, he doesn't need to wrestle, like, per se. But yeah. Okay.
I guess that's the kick out. I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
I'm trying to find the promo. I want to watch it now.
The Adam Cole one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that now.
Play it.
Find it. I'm gonna go look for it.
This go on YouTube. Tab Adam Cole Karrion Kross promo, I guess, or rips him to Karrion.
Rips him.
You can't play this. Well, we're not. Is this going on YouTube? Are we playing this? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. It's low though.
Hold on. Really? Did Adam Cole come out last? Do you want me to play the whole thing?
You're playing today's promo. Oh, sorry, Tuesday's promo. You need to play last week's promo.
What? So wait, that sounded. Who was that talking? That sounded.
This
Kyle O'Reilly.
This is from the 8th.
Yeah, that's this week's promo. We're talking about last week's promo.
Okay. Guys, this is not great. Can we just?
No, we have to wrap this up. Max, anything before we sign off, my friend?
No, that's all, man. In your house this weekend, and yeah, Backlash next weekend.
Ace, WWE is making loads of cuts.
Yes, we're hearing loads of cuts. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about anything, but we will. I'm sure
we won't get into it. But yeah, there's loads of cuts that Vince is making. Vince is making so much cuts that I regret to inform you guys that today's my last episode of The Kick Out.
Peace. All right, guys. Till next week.
Good night, everybody. All right, guys. Yeah, love. Subscribe, follow. Keep chasing The Kick Out. Peace.